I just don't understand why this ain't working, bro. Like, I don't understand why police redefine. Let me re-download everything. Maybe you know what? Let me re-update. Hold on. It goes in here. That goes in there. No. In here. This goes in the directory. I already have it, but see if it works now. I don't know why it's not that plugin is not working. If it don't work, then we're just gonna start coding again. Is what it is. Start that. Unblock those.
I love that boat.
Maybe I gotta start that too. There we go. Ah, it works. Oh, that's not good. So this is a new menu that came out. So this is the new menu. Let me make it daytime so we can see. Let's pull somebody over. Check out the new menu. Pull this car over. Make sure I got sound and stuff like that. Yeah. We should get a notification. There it is. Press T to open the PR menu. Heck yeah. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, this menu is huge with so much stuff. Use a tent reader. Speak. Impairment. Consent. Oh my god, look at all this. Papers, license registration. Oh my god. You know why I stopped you? Vehicle. Safety. Scene. That's pretty much questioning. Request information. I need an ID, please. Aaron. He lives on the address. See, I'm gonna do that for my call out too. I'm gonna add. They have an API, so I'm gonna add in my call outs. Then we can everything will match up if you for what I have in my call out for this. So the names match. This is a lot of stuff. Opioid. There's only him in the car. How do you... How do you ask him to step out of the car? Oh. Hey, follow me over here so we don't get hit. Oh, this is a new feature. Lean against vehicle. Passengers refusing to follow orders. Lean against my vehicle. You know what? I'm done playing around with you. Oh, you can come from the front now. Alright, you're being detained until we figure out what's going on. Alright. Get on the ground. Okay, we're gonna let him go because we were just trying it out. That's the new menu that just came out. It's sick. But we're gonna go work on our call out and try to work out all the bugs that we can work out with it. We'd like to release it Friday. My new solicitation call out. This is all my call outs I have.
In downtown Vinewood.
And dispatch ain't working. She should be saying solicitation in downtown Vinewood, so we gotta figure that out. Why she's not saying solicitation. And it's still doing this on the map because he ran. That's fine. So she should be over here. I need to fix that spawn point too. That's way off. I could probably do like Hooker's location and then put it on her location. This one's good. We gotta make sure we have a Hooker awareness bar at the bottom right. If we get too close, you see we can start going. It spooks, you know, it goes up. The faster we go, the more it would go up, see? So, and she's looking towards me. She sees up. She saw me, but she didn't get spooked. Now we're just waiting for someone to come by, pick her up, and then they'd be committing a crime. I have a point system installed too, but or coded in, but it really don't do nothing. It's just there because I was trying to get as close as I can to Abel's call out for back in the day. So that's where this inspiration came from. She gonna get in? First car, she got in. She had a chance to pass on that car and get into next car or next car or next car. Okay, so I do have one bug that's been causing some crashing issues, and we're gonna try to work out that bug. And I added some debug code in that we can see if we can find where the code is getting hung up on. And they run.
We have a suspect trying to flee from officers.
Well,
Need extra units on Clinton Avenue.
I don't want them to run because I'm trying to test out when she's out of the car. Because when he's out of the car, that spawn point is way off. We gotta try to fix that. But when you get close to her, she noticed me, did she?
Attention, this is dispatch. 4. No further units required.
Okay, let's just stay back, stay hidden. And then we gotta make sure it works for call out interface. Alright, we got a nice car pulling up here in Vinewood. Nice little car. And he passed up. So I made it a random, I think I made it a random number between 1 through like 7 or 5. So she can get in the first car, she can pass up on the first car, she may get in the second car, she may not. Maybe the third, maybe not. And I think the fourth, I think I drew the line. I think it was the fourth. I'm like, man, I don't want her to keep, I know people be sitting here all day. So I was like, man, I think about 4 or 5 cars, we need to get her into a car. So if she don't get in the first 2 cars, she only got so many more numbers after that. Cause we'll be sitting here all day waiting for her to get into a car, and that would be kind of pointless. Might be realistic, but they're gonna negotiate money. See if she gets in this car. This truck. She get in. Alright, that's a crime committed. Solicitation right there, baby. Unless their stories match up, but the stories are not gonna match up because I did have, there'll be a husband and wife, and then you can ask for their ID. But I took that code out because I would have to integrate it into another plugin to have the ID I get from my menu match up with other menus that people use to ask for IDs and stuff. So as you can see, I used to have ask for ID and ask passive for ID. That has been taken out. All we have is in orders and question, I think. And the questions used to be like, if their stories match up, they're husband and wife. If they're lying, then her story would not match up with his story. So she might say he's my husband, but he might say something totally different. So their stories wouldn't match. This ain't gonna make sense for here because I've been trying to work on some changing that out. But yeah. And also, sometimes it could be a female, the driver, and sometimes there's another person in the car, which is not good because she can jack their passenger out of the car, which wouldn't make sense. And I don't think it would make sense if it would be a female, huh? Hello? Did he stop? What are you doing? Let me cancel it and re-pull him over. Either way, it's not gonna cancel our code. What is he doing? Dude, what are you doing? Well, alright, because I know the only bug that I have been testing, and they running again, dude.
We have a suspect trying to flee from officers. Need extra
Get out of here.
on Meteor Street.
So I have it a random number. They can run or they don't run. And it just so happens I pulled the unlucky number for him to run again.
In downtown Vinewood.
That is not matching at all. Let me check that code out. See? The good thing is I can take this menu code out, but I don't have to take the code out that makes the menu work. So if I ever want to bring this back, I can just bring it back. And just undo that, and then it brings the menu back to that. So, let's see. Maybe I can get it based off the hooker's location. I believe it might be this one right here. I could probably say it says spawn point dot around. I wonder if I can do. Let's see, I gotta remember how to do this for the location here. Spawn point. Let me go back up. Spawn point. Gotta remember how to do this. See, spawn point. Okay, spawn point dot distance 2. Hooker, maybe. Takes 2 arguments, so 80. So that takes 2 arguments. So I'm guessing it probably, let's see, no argument for method distance 2 takes 3 arguments. It just said 2 arguments. Let me see something. Tutorial. Okay. Let's get rid of that. I gotta remember how to do the search radius. Okay, so we'll do. I could just do search area. There we go. I could do that. Let's see how that looks as well. We'll just build it, but we're not gonna go ahead and reload it in yet. Oh, I gotta turn my lights off. Spook her away if I don't. So I think there's a common bug right now where the only crash that I know of that I've been playing is when if he gets out of the car and I end the call out, nothing crashes. But if she's out of the car and I end the call out, it crashes for some reason. We gotta look into that.
Oh, you are so nasty. You know I love it, watching you cry.
The fuck?
Okay, I'll see you later.
Everybody gonna come? Holler at your girl? Down the street? Soliciting herself? Where's everybody at? It's gonna be that truck right behind that big truck. Yeah, I think that's the one I added in. Yeah. He should stop.
What? Oh, sorry, Mom.
She getting in the first car.
I thought you were someone from the studio. Yes, I know.
Hope he don't run this time. I'm trying to work out all the bugs and figure out what's going on. So it should crash when she's out of the car and I end the call out. We just gotta work that out, figure out what's going on with that. And then we'll do it with him too, but I know for sure it does it with her. A full LSPFR crash prevention. Well, that's not good. Here we go. Traffic stop, solicited traffic stop. Pad driver, pad passenger, vehicle passenger hooked other vehicles. Okay. And then tax him that casual. So this crash right here, I think. I hope I didn't do it because I added mama class into it. I know what's going on here. So it says saying pad driver, pad passenger vehicle, bullying passenger hooked other vehicles. So we'll start there first. All right, let me.
Dude, I just started walking and I didn't stop until I reached Pillbox Hill.
Not sure what happened with that. And he just stays there. We gotta figure out what's going on with that too. We got some bugs we gotta work out. Unfortunate. I didn't expect that crash to happen. Something happened with that. But I got it where it will try to prevent a crash and just end the call out. So I'm gonna try it again.
In downtown Vinewood.
And now you can see that radius is a lot better. That's more accurate. You know, it kind of gives you a radius to search around looking. Let's see if it crashes again. It's not good. I didn't see that crash before. I think I know what's going on, but we're going to look at it again. Alright, come on, come on, come on.
Orale, I'll tell you how it goes. Speak to you next week, okay?
So it seemed like it crashed, right? As I was walking up to the vehicle. Which I'm trying to think why it would do that. Get in the vehicle, yes. Now see if it crashes again, see if it catches it and ends the call out. He's still sitting there. We gotta figure out why he don't get dismissed. Is it gonna crash again? Or did I just get unlucky with something? Crashed again. Okay. And then we have something going on right here, which I don't think that's what's causing it. I think it's this right here. And I hope it's not because I added the mama call out class. Let's start with this first. We're gonna start with this. I'm gonna try this first and see what happens. Let's go down so I know where this air is coming from too. On this. So right here I have is in vehicle. After is in vehicle. This is causing us issues right here, I think. Let's check if they exist. If they exist, then we run the code. So we'll say driver dot exists. If driver exists and vehicle dot exists, then we need to do driver in vehicle. So now we're checking if they exist. If they exist, then we can run this code right here. We're checking if they exist. They do exist. And then we need to run vehicle dot exists and oh crap. What's going on with that? Vehicle, if driver dot exists and vehicle dot exists and driver. There we go. So that hopefully that fixed the crash. If not, I don't know. I think that's one issue because that's how I know that's one issue because you can see my pet is driver, my passenger is passenger, and we gave it a boolean which could be a true or false, which is a false, right? You come in my code or my Rage plugin. Right here, ped driver, ped passenger vehicle boolean passenger, hook other vehicles. And this is, see, that's what's giving us the issue right there. So hopefully that fixes it. Not sure what this code is right here, but I think that has something to do with this. If that doesn't work, then we need to take mama class off this. It could be adding that, could be causing complications with it. Let's build that, and let's see what happens. Let's reload the plugins. Hope for the best. We also need to fix my error too I'm getting for the entire language. See, they don't get dismissed. I don't know what's going on with that. Can I clean them up? They're like just frozen there. We gotta fix that. Interesting. It won't get deleted.
In downtown Vinewood.
See if it crashes again. If it crashes again, we're kind of screwed. Like, it's not what I thought it was gonna be. I'm thinking it was just that what I added in there. we need to check if they exist. If they exist, then we need to run the code.
Hello, darling.
We wasn't checking if they exist, so I think that was the issue with that. But we'll see.
Yesterday, and I'm ready to party.
Ready to party?
Let's go to my house up north.
All right, let's go.
There's the place next door to it too. That sounds like so much fun.
Oh my God, she does.
You're such a naughty girl.
Oh, I'm such a naughty girl. He's gonna stop that car right there, that behind that other car. Oh, he didn't stop. Oh, it look like he's driving backwards.
That's a great choice for a first date.
That's a big phone.
Well, I know she loves baseball. Okay, you two have fun, and let me know how it goes.
I like that car.
That's a big boy right there. He wasn't interested in that car. If this doesn't work, I don't know what it could be because I didn't have this happen last night. This crash I'm experiencing now did not happen last night. And I know it's got to be something I changed today. Cause I adjusted some things today. I should have tested it out before I did more coding. Now I gotta backtrack to figure out what happened. It's gotta be either 3 things I did. So it's either adding the mama class. Oh my God. Oh, she's getting in that car. She's definitely getting in that car. Is he Torno? Yeah.
You're about to, darling. Alina, are you? Bye.
Oh my God, dude. If this guy runs, I ain't catching him. It's the Torno, baby. I think I added that in. So those are the vehicles that added in right here. You go all the way up, and this one. So here, these are all my vehicles that could be selected for them to pull over and pick her up, and it happens to be this Eternal. It's a random number, so it picks random cars between the selection. I might actually grow that. I might make it into. What I might do is take this class off. And I'm working on a new class right now called Vehicle Extension, and this is gonna have all the vehicles in the game. And I'm thinking about, and I can just call on this name, and it'll pull any one of these vehicles from the whole class. So I'm thinking about doing that too. That way I can just use any vehicle in the game. You know, you won't know what vehicle it's gonna be. It could be any vehicle. Any vehicle that makes sense. And, I don't expect it to be getting freaking like this truck. Like no industrial type vehicles, right? What are you doing? I mean, okay, well, is it gonna crash? That's not good. What is going on with that? Okay. So it is crashing. Okay, let me take out what I added in real quick. I'm just curious. Cause I didn't have this happen last night. Let me go ahead and take out the mama class. And let's take out these 2. That's all I added in. If this doesn't work, I'm screwed. Because then I'm going to have to go through and figure out what's going on. And it's saying in the call out And here, call out handler. Something's going on in here. So if it's in here, I'm gonna have to go through and add debug all the way down to figure out where the code is. We know this is working because this is before we pick up the hook or the processor, right? And right here, we're getting the vehicle heading, and we'll brake it. Hooker position, brake, weight count. So this is all working. We know that because this is all run before she gets the vehicle, and we're not crashing up until then. That's all working. Awareness bar is working. Okay, right here. It's gotta be something in here. Waiting for the player to pull them over. I didn't really change nothing here. Let's try that again. I'm kind of worried because now I didn't have this happen last night, and I don't really know what's causing it yet. It's kind of scary, man, because I know I changed something, but I don't remember. I don't know what it could be. So I'm gonna have to go through and add. Oh my god. Okay, well, it's what it is. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to go in and add in some debug lines so I can figure out when it's running and when it's not running. We know it's not crashing. It's not crashing until I get out of the car and I approach them. He's also not getting dismissed, so they're just sitting there. We're gonna have to fix that too. I think I know why that's not working too.
In downtown Vinewood.
See if it crashes. All we can do is pray at this point.
We paid 8 million for that fucking yacht.
8 million for a yacht? Hell yeah.
Come on. I have some friends that want to party this weekend.
See you soon. I'll pick up some
Whatever you
factions
have
on
to
the
do,
way.
darling.
That's a bad boy.
Bother with such nonsense.
That boy drunk. That boy drunk off his mind. Public intoxication, boy. I should write you a ticket. I wonder if police redefines causing issues. What's our call out? Oh, I wonder if that could be causing issues, man. Because if you look at his website, right here, incompatible plugins, no incompatible plugins. Ours ain't in there because we're, whatever. These are like callouts that have been out for like a long time, and these are big callouts. We're moving up though. We're getting up there, but the point is, these ain't compatible with this plugin. Fake might not be mine probably isn't compatible either. We're probably gonna have to. Ooh, not good. We'll have to work on that. Make it compatible. If it crashes again, we're gonna take that out and try it again. And these cars are just sitting there. Please don't crash.
No way.
It was that causing it. It was my mama class. That sucks. Why is that causing issues? So as you can see, I took out the ID and all that stuff. So we can order any one of them out. We're just gonna order her out. We're gonna speak to her. The question ain't gonna make sense because I'm gonna rewrite that. Because I did have a husband and wife storytelling, and their stories might match up. And obviously they wouldn't have time to, like, after we put them over, they wouldn't have time to come up with a story, right? So, and then she could be telling me that's my husband, and I go talk to him, and he's saying totally two different thing. I don't know her, blah blah blah. So the stories won't match up, right? It ain't gonna make no sense right here. Okay, so he says to my cousin officer. Let's question him, see what he says. Hey, sir. Hey, man, you might getting out and having a word with me?
You fucker.
Oh, shoot. Oh. Dude, how are you still alive, bro? And call out.
Attention, this is dispatch. No further units required.
She put out a machine gun. Let's run a thorough check on it real quick. See if it come back. Who it comes back to? How do I do this? I've never done it with this menu before. Here we go. Open trunk. Run peg check. Run vehicle check. You have to open the trunk first. There we go. Firearm testing. Dispatch. Need a weapon check. Comes back to Marcus Carter. I didn't get the guy's ID before I... Can I check? Maybe that's his gun? I am close to the bed. Unless I need to search, maybe search for his body, we can find something.
No freaking way! Oh my.
When I never.
Nope. So...
What the hell?
Okay, so let's restart since we got these cars that's just roaming around. So it's not crashing now, which tells me my mama quest was causing it to crash. which is not good. And that's not good either. I expect that to happen though. It happens sometime with mods. When you restart, when you reload a save, it does that sometimes because you got so many mods running as you're doing it. So that's to be expected. That happens sometimes. Anytime you reload a save and you got a whole bunch of mods loaded up at the time you're reloading a save, that can cause a crash because you got so much code and so much stuff going through at once. I'm just trying to figure out why would my mama class be calling it the crash? I need to be able to get that in so I could add some things to it for my mama class. Just trying to figure out why that would cause it the crash. I guess what we could do, so we could try to figure out why the suspect's not getting dismissed. We're gonna try to add a code to see if we can get him dismissed, because that's aggravating that every time I end the call out, they don't move. They just sit there and they just keep piling up. That's not good. Let's see if we can fix that. I'm not doing a whole bunch of coding right now. Right now, I'm just doing a lot of testing. In a little while, we're going to be doing some more coding because I need to get some more stuff done. And it looks like we're stuck in an infinite loop. That's not good. I mean, I think we're stuck in an infinite loop here. Not good. Sometimes GTA acts up, man. And the part of being a programmer too, man, I think the hardest thing being a programmer is trying to release things to people that's not gonna break their game or cause crashes, you know? And if you notice, if you look, I do this a lot in my callouts. If you notice, right here, I have a catch, and then if you go over here, if you go up, I have a thing called try, and at the end I have catch, right? I was just showing you that, but I had to find the try. What that's gonna do is if it crashes or something goes wrong with my call out, if it does crash, it's gonna tell me exactly what's wrong. They can send me their log, their race plugin log, and I can find the issue. Or 90% of the time it will not crash. Like it will pop that message like I just showed you a little bit ago where it says this. It handled the fully call out crash, full LSP crash prevention. So instead of it crashing, it's going to end the call out. And that is going to allow their game not to crash. It's going to try to catch before it crashes. It's going to try to catch any issue. And that's important to add in your call outs. Because not only, you can find the issue out. 90% of the time when they send their rage, you're going to find the issue, but people ain't going to have fun to keep having their game crash. It's not going to be fun. So instead of crashing the whole game or the whole plugin, let's just try to catch it and then let's safely end that call out. And that is key to me. So people don't have to deal with crashes or try to not deal with crashes. So to me, that's important to do. So yeah, I do that a lot. I do try and catch. That is going to try to prevent a massive crash. And that is important. So people can just report it to me and I can fix it. And they can, because all my callouts have the INI. They can go through and their INI file and disable any callout they want. If that callout is giving them issues, then I will report and let everybody know that this callout is broken or down right now. Please go in your INI file and disable it and turn it to false. That will disable them from getting the callout anymore until I can go through and add a fix for it. But they'll need to send me the Rage plugin, which is this. They would need to send me this. This will give me all the information I need of what's going on. So that's force, duty, and I gotta fix that air down there too. That's kind of annoying, but I'm not really worried about that right now. I'm just trying to fix some of these bugs. Alright, so I think the main reason the suspect... So let's just see what happens now.
In downtown Vinewood.
And people always ask me, well, they don't really ask me, but she will not, just let everyone know, she will not get in any car. And the code won't, the way I have it programmed, the code would not run. It would not run, you know, for her to start getting in cars and the car start cycling through. It will not run until you get in and trigger the rest of the code. How do you do that? Well, you have to get close enough to her to get her other search radius and her spook meter. Once that triggers, then all the rest of the code and the while loop runs. So you don't have to worry about not getting there in time and the code running before you get there in time. That's not gonna happen. That would never happen. Not the way I do my code. So once you get close enough, and you see that little orange one, and that's just a parked car right there, by the way. But once I get close enough, I might have to make that a little bit further away. But you can see I got a hook meter and everything. If you spook, if she notices you, she will face you. Yeah, that's just a parked car. I'm gonna double check though. I don't want to spook her, so I'm just gonna double check in this. Yeah, it's just a parked car. I would remove it, but I want to see how they park with the parked cars here. Oh crap. I'm just scared that they're gonna park before him or after the car. Why are they stopping? What are they doing? I'm just curious how they're gonna park with these parked cars. That might actually be an issue. So I might make that spook meter be more work more violently, more further away. That's gonna be an issue. That's an issue with that car parked there. Because they're gonna, or I don't know, man. I could make it. That's it. I mean, it worked. She got in, but it's kind of glitchy because that car messed everything up. But at least, you know, it is what it is, right? GTA, this AI is just ridiculous. GTA 6 is gonna have way better AI, I hope. But, I mean, no, it don't crash, you know, she gets in the vehicle, is what it is. She teleports in the vehicle, but it works. Not my concern right now. My concern is fixing these crashes. So, I know if
We need a unit to respond to a subject resisting officers on Fenwell Place.
He ran. So I know if I dismissed him, in my mod menu, then he will get dismissed properly. But if I dismiss him via grammar police, he does not get dismissed.
Respawn code 3.
And I notice not everything is... Oh my god. That's not ours, is it? No, that's not ours. Alright, I've been working on new Italian. Shout out to my dude for helping me with the Italian language, as you can see. It's Italian. Not everything has been transcribed yet, though. But I'm working on it. And then you can go into I&I and change it.
In downtown Vinewood.
So once you trigger that, and it says potential hooker, try to enter the vehicle, that's when all the code runs. That's when the cars will start going through the cycle of stopping at her. So if you're far away out of town and you're on your way to the scene, she's gonna be spawned in, but the code will not run. No vehicles will start approaching her until you trigger this. That way, you don't have to worry about getting there and then she's already got the car and took off. I mean, I could add it in as an option, because maybe she's already got in the car, and maybe, you know, someone called and she's already been getting in the car or left the scene or whatever, and you don't see nobody. You just got to code for it, right? But I feel like that'd be boring for people to be driving around. I don't know. We'll see. And so I know they will get dismissed properly if I use my menu. If I use grammar police, he will not leave the scene. So we gotta look into that. Let's just double check that. I got out too soon. That was my fault. Cancel the traffic stop. And then we're gonna do a little bit of coding. Don't worry, we're gonna do a little bit of coding. Right now, we're just doing a lot of testing to see if we're in a stable enough condition for even my beta testers to get it. But I may not even do beta testers. I might just release it Friday after I fix most of the bugs, and I'll just put in brackets beta so people know to be expecting bugs. You know. So if I get here out of the car. And I end the call out using the menu. He just left her. But he leaves, right? He gets dismissed.
Attention,
And then
dispatch. No further units required.
so they were let go lawfully, which means their stories matched. Right? They're actually why he just left her. But yeah, see, they both get dismissed. That's the main thing. But if I use grammar police which most people will probably use, the driver will not. He would just be stuck there, right? And we're gonna work on that now.
In downtown Vinewood.
I don't want to scare her away. Because if you do have lights and sirens, you will scare her away. So the code will start running. All the code will run in the while loop once you get close enough. Right now, everything starts to run. See, that's a problem though, right here. It just so happened we triggered it right when this car was pulling up. That's one of the cars, but that's the issue. Having a passenger and that's a female. That's the issue. So what that. The reason we have that issue, first of all, we don't have it. You know, we're not telling the code that, hey, make sure the passenger seat is empty. We need to do that. And the reason we're getting a female is because I have it set to random driver, and that can give us either a female or a male. We could probably just keep it at male and then be done, you know, and that's it, right? We should probably do that because it wouldn't match up to our subtitles because she's gonna be calling the driver a he, and if it's a female, this wouldn't make no sense. Now this makes sense. And she's gonna get in that car. That's the issue. But it was just, sometimes the AI just are dumb. So, now we're going to try to dismiss them, use the grammar police, and he probably is not going to leave. And then what we'll do is we'll call in the class and we'll check if it's null. If it's not null, then we need to end the traffic stop. That's the goal, right? So once you learn the syntax of C#, everything becomes pretty easy to understand when you're coding. Of course they run. Why would they?
In downtown Vinewood. Copy code 4, 2215.
Try it again. So this has been in development for about a month, maybe a month and a half. It's been probably my most difficult call out I've done. So I always gotta wait. And like I said, this call out is gonna become a lot better once I release it and people give their feedback. You know, on things I should maybe add, implement, and change, some bug fixes. Once it gets out there, I got about $45,000 on this pack, on this mod for GTA. And once I release a new update, everyone in game will get a notification in game, right above the minimap, that there's a new update available. And everyone on Discord, and all the groups in Discord, every single GTA group that uses the LSPFR helper will get notification as well. So, and then once it gets out there, people are going to give me feedback, and I'm going to be able to change things based on what they want. Because this ain't about me, this is about the community, right? I wouldn't be where I am without the community and their feedback and things I should change and fix and implement and, you know, ideas and stuff like that. Where's the car at? Is that cop car causing issues? Here's what we do when that happens. That's what we do when that happens. 'Cause I believe that's the car that's gonna stop. Nope. It's gonna be that Zetoronto right there. So we're gonna see. He should not get dismissed if we use grammar police, which is not good. And we're gonna try to fix that when he gets dismissed properly. That's Cardo. And the hooker awareness and everything will go away once we get a little further away from the scene. And once I trigger the traffic stop like that. So either one of those things, we get too far away, or we trigger the traffic stop. So if I get him out, if I get her out, and then I end the call out via grammar police.
Code 41712.
She should get dismissed though. See, we gotta figure out what's going on with that. Alright, let me go pee, we're gonna figure that out. First thing we're going to try is so we do have our traffic stop in here, right? We do have a. I don't see it's getting dismissed only when you use my menu, which tells me. So we go up here. Here is where in the cleanup of the traffic stop happens, and you can see we do indeed clear up this, but grammar police doesn't use this function, so we have to go in here, go down to our end function, and we're gonna have to check if act. I don't even remember why I named it. Shoot, what did I name it? Yeah, here it is. Active, that's what I named, okay. If an exclamation point in C# means it's not something, right? So it's not active or whatever, right? So we're saying if our call out that handles our traffic stop is not or equal to null, which means null means doesn't exist. But what we're saying here is if active stop is not null, which means it doesn't exist, and it does exist, then we're gonna go in here and say active traffic stop, and then we're gonna say end traffic stop. That hopefully will end it properly. So let's try that via Grammar Police, because Grammar Police uses that. So hopefully that works. No issue. Because that one only works via our menu, that traffic stop one. This one in our traffic stop works if you're using our mob menu that we coded in. Grammar Police and most callouts use the end function with the override. So we're saying we're calling on our callout class, our active traffic stop, and we're saying if it's not null or not, if it's not equal to null, which means null means doesn't exist. So what we're saying here is if we're saying if it's not null, which means it exists, it's active, then if this is called, we need to end the traffic stop function, which is in here. So we need to end our traffic stop, which calls on our driver and all that. And then in here, in our end, we are calling on our hooker. So if hooker exists, dismiss. If hooker exists, dismiss. We don't want to delete, because if we put like delete, then when you end the call, she'll just get deleted, and that's obviously not what we want. So let's try that again and see what happens. Let's reload. Hopefully they drive off when we dismiss it via Grammar Police. And then we'll work on our dialogues. Get the hell out of my way. Get out of my way.
In downtown Vinewood.
I ain't never seen him dive like that. So let's try this again. Hopefully they both drive off. That's gonna tell me that they're both getting cleaned up properly. And if it doesn't work, we're gonna add some debugging code so I can see if they're being ran when we use Grammar Police. So what we'll do, it will say game.log the end function running. End function is cleaning up. So I'll know that it's calling this when we clean the call out, and I'll know this function is getting called. Then we'll go over here, and we'll say in here, and we'll do that next. We'll put that in there next. That way I know they're both getting called when we end the call out.
What, sure? I thought this was Alicia. No, baby, be cool. Bitch.
Now we gotta wait.
Honey, I need you to move back, okay?
The hell? This traffic light is annoying. So let's see what happens when we end the call out. Now. We're gonna ask her out, and then we're gonna tell her to get back in. Of course he
All
runs.
units, we have a suspect resisting officers on Clinton Avenue. Received and clear, 1800. In downtown Vinewood.
I might make that hooker awareness. I don't know, above the mini map or something. I don't know yet. And what I'll do too, like I'm gonna work on some of these questions too. Where do we have an air at? Oh shoot. Okay. So right here, this is my question for the driver. So these questions are fine. And now, we honestly don't even need this code anymore because we're not asking for ID. I'm only keeping them if I decide to bring that back and implement it into police and redefine. I want to redo all these though. And we're gonna rename these functions as well. Pull over. Don't run. Let's order her out. Please work.
Received and clear, 1800.
There you go. She gets out, that's fine, but they both get dismissed. That's working. Nice, okay. Now let's work on some of the questions here. let's think about this for a second. So I'm just trying to think what I should add for my questions. Okay. We'll do. I mean, I just keep the married for now because then I have to go through and change the other code. Let's keep that for now. Need to be truthful answers. Okay. So we'll say he's my cousin. He's my cousin, officer. He's my cousin, officer. We're we. What should we put? We've known each other our whole lives. Alright, that's one answer. Okay. Now I gotta figure out what we want to add for his. So he's my cousin. So if they're true, then they're telling the truth. Then we run. This could be a random number between 1 to 3, and it could pull this code or these strings. He's my cousin, officer. We're heading home. We've known each other our whole lives. And then their stories match. So we'll say she's my cousin, officer. We're heading home, comma. Not gonna say the same thing. We've known each other our whole lives. I should say we grew up together. Okay. And that's row 0, and then row 1. shoot. I'm trying to think of what to put for the subtitles or for this dialogue here. They're still telling the truth here. Maybe they're going to get a bite to eat somewhere. Maybe they're going fishing. I don't know. I was trying to think. This is always the hardest part, thinking of what to write. So if row equals 1, so if row equals 1, we'll say that's cousin we're going to grab some food. Let's try and think what to put for him. She family going to eat real quick. Going to eat real quick. Going to eat real quick. Then we plan no. Yeah, then we plan to go back to her place. Else alright, what's next? What's next? What should we put next? So these are when their stories match. So we will let them go if their stories match. I'm just trying to figure out what to put. So we have, he's my cousin officer. We're heading home. We have known each other our whole lives. And these would be my questions to them. Hello? Hey. Just play my game and stuff. Yeah. I feel good. Yeah, I know. I know. She doesn't really support the things we support. She don't like them. Oh, I can turn her into it. No, really? Yeah, yeah, I'm friends with him. Facebook. I feel nauseous, man. Ugh. Yeah, I gotta pick Danielle up. I hate that sometimes because I gotta drive across towns. Yeah, I know. What do you mean? I I'm not changing. I know, but I suffer from extreme anxiety, and then when I think it's my heart and everything, so I get so dizzy and so feel weird. No, because I'm telling you how I feel though, and how my heart gets up and everything. Well, there's VFib, AFib, everything. Hmm. They didn't even do a stress test though, none. But echo don't show if you have that though. And I'm telling you, well, the the flutter and stuff didn't happen when I was with a heart monitor. So that when that happens, that's telling me, oh, my heart's not getting blood flow or something. I know he's a heart doctor, but yeah, I know. But I just nosy. Mhm. They already know I'm on medical leave. She all right? She's young to have stomach problems. Wow. I wonder why my medicines cost that much right now. It better. I'm still with the company. No, I'm gonna call them tomorrow. Yeah. Or I didn't meet my deductible yet. I need to go back to the hospital more. That's why I met my deductible so quick last year. I went to the hospital for pain and my stomach problems and stuff. Yeah, yeah, for pain because they're gonna do uh the injection in 2 weeks from now. He it, he prescribed me two in like it's not like it's kind of like Xanax, but not really. It's almost like it's called diazepam. It's like lorazepam, and he wants me to take that. If I have anxiety, he wants me to take it to calm me down because they're gonna do like 3 shots or 3 injections in that one spot. Um, he said I have arthritis pretty bad on that right side. I wish we'd have been there. I wish I would have recorded it, but he looked at the MRI, and I don't know why Clint didn't see it, but he's like, yeah, he showed me on the on the imaging where it's inflamed at and that right side, and he said it all makes sense to the pain of where I'm explaining the pain's at. It's all making sense now. And he's like, yeah, he's like, I can see why you're in a lot of pain. He said your bulging disc is rubbing against your back. So I'm not having back surgery. I just need to find a treatment that works. So that's why he's gonna give me an injection and try to find the nerve that's causing the issue so he can numb that nerve. And he said it's trial and error. They won't know what nerve's gonna work until they do more injections to figure out which one's causing the issue. Once they find the nerve, because he said there's so many spots in your back where the nerves run. So once he said he wants me to really pay attention that first day of any side effects and stuff. And he said as far as the spots on my body, normally it huh? He said that wouldn't be caused by the if it was in reaction to the medicine, it would be in that spot. It would be only in that spot where I had the injection. I'm not even sure if Sam's blowing them all. Yeah. Yeah, we lost all of our games last week because we only had 3 of us bowling. We would have won. We had the full team. The, yeah. You here? I'm gonna come say hi real quick. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Where we at? Under else. Okay. Else. He, my cousin, he's my cousin. I'm gonna do it all in one line, so let's just end that there. We're going to a how do you spell restaurant? Shoot, restaurant, comma. We've always known each other, and we've always known each other. I think that's it for that one. Driver answers equals new list string. All right. She my cousin just going out to eat, comma, quotation marks, Purdy. We have Alright. So that would be if they're telling the truth. So what it's gonna do is if they're matching, if they're telling the truth, then we need to pull a random number and pull one of these. And then I know it says Mary because I'm changing the code out. And then someone's gonna be lying on one of these. And she might say he's my husband, but he might say, we just met, whatever. And then let's go back up. Let's work on these questions now. Should delete all of these. And we're going to rewrite all these. So row equals 0, row equals 1, row equals 2. 0 is technically 1, right? So 1, 2, 3. Solution. All right, so let's start working. Cause we have variables, right? We have passenger answers. Right here. Questions for driver, passenger. So here we go. And it's a list it's a list string variable. Mm. So we're not using none of this right now, but we're just gonna keep it in there until we integrate it. If not backup on Steam and backup requested and backup unit.exist and driver should be arrested, passenger should be arrested, and pursuit has not been created and fight has not been created. If backup has driver have not have driver and vector 3 distant backup, you could put this less than 40. Then we need to make sure that's true, and it should be at random between 5 and 0. If driver has not arrested and passenger is not arrested, then we need to go ahead and create a pursuit. And this book right here has taught me a lot about programming. C Sharp. The C Sharp book. I love that book. Taught me a lot back in the day. Alright. Else, if it's equal to 1, and then if I ever need to get an array of vehicles, that's what I do. Because I'm working on my own little custom class, which is going to contain all the vehicles in the game. So I can call on these. The only thing is I got to keep track of what I have so I don't duplicate the same car. Which, I don't think that would work, because if I do this, yeah, okay, it would work. So it would, I was hoping it was going to give me an error, but we just got to be careful that we just don't. And what I can do is I can go to GTA 5 vehicle models. And 5M has all the vehicle models we're using. We could use, or that we can use, all the vehicles in the game. We could use the hash, but we're using a model name. So I could find a car I don't have and add it in. And all I do is call on this name right here, and call under get random vehicle, and then call on this number, and it'll be a random number. Now it's not going to work in my class over here, because I don't have this linked up, or do I? Let's see. Let me pull this over here real quick. Where's it at? Where's my call? Oh, I forgot. It's up here. Okay. So, like, if I go up, let me see if I can find a place where I added in a random number. Right here. I'm just trying to remember how to do it. I think I'll have to call on this number and then get in our ground vehicle. I think that's what we need to do. So if I was to go into family dispute, I guess, and add in our, make sure that's the right name here. You know, I could do it this way as well. So we already have B type. So to call this from any call out, I think I'll have to go into here. I could add it up here, and it'll be a model, right? And then we can name it whatever we want to name it. Random, I don't know, random vehicle models, right? And then we'll have to say equals, and then here we can say vehicles extension dot get random ground vehicle, and that calls now we're getting error right here because we're doing stuff on that other call out, but that will get us a random vehicle. So if I was to go in and add a vehicle, let's just say I go in here, right? Let me get a vehicle. So we were creating a vehicle, right? Suspect, car, I don't know, right? Equals new vehicle. So it's gonna be a new vehicle, right? Well, then what we need to do is we'll have to get vehicle vehicles extension dot get random vehicle, and then what here we will have to say our position of spawn position. So in our case, it would be underscore spawn point, right? And then we'll have to say comma game dot local player dot character dot heading. And there you go. It will give us a random vehicle of any vehicle that we added from our class. So that's how we can do it. We can call in that class that we have over here. And like I said, we have we can see our ped models over here. Ped models, we can see all the ped models, all the animations that we need, animal models, all the scenarios. Right? They're all from the cutscene. Let's go back up to our vehicles. And you can see what we don't have. So if I wanted to go down to if we want to add this classic car, then we'll just go into new, make sure there's a comma, new model. And there you go. And then we can just put a comma there unless we're doing another line. But to put, we can put a comma there when we want a new line. But to put one there anyways. And then we just added a new random vehicle. That could be a new. So eventually I want to add all the vehicles, right? That we can call on. These would be our ground vehicles. Then we can do industrial vehicles for another one. And to do that, we would just come down here if we want to do our industrial vehicles. And let's go back to our vehicles here. See what we have. We can add these in another class. Let's do motorcycles. And then we'll do motorcycles. This will be a read-only. It'll be a model. brackets, motorcycles equals, and then a comma, and then we can write new model, and then we can start working on our motorcycles in here. First one will be this one. Alright, then we put a comma, new, and then we can start writing our motorcycles. We'll write 3 for now. And then we can start writing some motorcycles, right? And there we go. And then we just go in here. We could probably do else. Or you know what? No, let's do it like this. We can call on our motorcycles underscore random. And there you go. Now it would call our motorcycles. And then we can call, or we can put that in another get random ground vehicle. So that might be our best solution. But we're not going to add that in here right now because we're going to work on those. We need to add more of those. We're just going to call on our ground vehicles. And we could probably do another variable for that. So I could probably come down here and say, it'd be better for you to add it in its own new function. Mortar, cycles, get random motorcycle. Let me see. There you go. Now we can just call on this. Get random motorcycle. If we put this back in here, we just take this out, and now we can put a vehicle. Vehicle extension dot get random motorcycle. There you go, and we can call on that like that. And there you go. Now this is get a random vehicle, or a random motorcycle that will get a random vehicle. So we can do that. So that's just one way we can do it. We can we have it up here. So let's go back. So we're under not married. Roll. So. Couple of weeks, maybe. I should get rid of all the errors. So also, pasture, couple of weeks, maybe. ACQUAINTANC. I think that's right. Just like coincidence. No, nowhere. Pacific. Now, she said just getting a ride. And then what else? Row 3. Honestly. looks good. Let's build that.
In downtown Vinewood.
Don't need this right now.
I could maybe introduce you right after our next date. I'll expect your call, baby. Talk to you soon.
I gotta be at my audition. Sweet Jesus. Help.
Hey, man.
So fucking worthless.
Damn.
You're fucking nothing.
Damn.
I know, trippy, right? He's just like regular dude.
Hi, honey.
Yeah, for reals. What are you talking about? I am excited.
Hey, man, what's up? Hey, man.
Okay.
We
Oh,
have a suspect fleeing the area on Clinton Avenue. downtown Vinewood.
We gotta figure out why she's not saying solicitation. Saying 44. Saying 44.
Dispatch, go ahead.
Be advised, I got eyes and visual on the hooker, possible suspect.
Copy.
Beautiful. What's up, dude?
Oh my god. We keep telling them ram the car, bro. I don't know why it says excellent question. Okay. So we need to have it make sense for the question that we're gonna ask. We need to probably take that out too. So they're lying, I think. If I end the call out,
Clear, 1530.
we probably need to wait for her to exit the car before he drives off. So right here, determine and call out item. Display code 4 message. So what we can do is we can put this message, the display code 4 message, in our encode. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna get some food. I haven't ate all day. Peace out.